Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
In the morning, he comes back, sometimes just before the evening starts. Some people come back in the evening. They don't have time, they don't have a lot of time here. The quality of life, I don't know for many people, but from what I've seen, is not good here. And people do not have the time to engage with ulama and sit with them and spend some time with them so that they can do something in order to protect their faith and protect their iman. There's no time for that. And when the weekend comes, people have duties with their families, and therefore they can't provide that time. There are people who can provide a bit of time, but in that time, where do we find the ulama? Where do we find those who remain steadfast on the path of those who came before? Because fitna has become so widespread. Majority of the people we find, or maybe not majority, maybe less than majority, maybe majority are those who are steadfast. But from what I've seen, it is hard to find the ulama who have remained steadfast on the path of those who came before. The path of the people like Mufti Hind radiallahu anhu, the path of people like Sadr al-Sharia alayhi rahmah, the path of people like Huzur Imam Ahmad Raza radiallahu anhu, who have remained steadfast on their path. Those are the people that we need to follow. We need to stay with them, stay amongst them, because this is what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam taught us when he said, "I'tammu bi likay ya'tamma bikum man ba'dakum." And this hadith is a translation of the verse of the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Ati'u Allah wa ati'u Rasul wa ulil amri minkum," and follow the ulil amr. Ulil amr are those people who remain steadfast on those who were before, on the path of those who came before. The Sahaba Kiram, amongst them were the ulil amr, and they are the ones the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying to, "I'tammu bi likay ya'tamma bikum man ba'dakum." Follow me so that the people after you follow you. And the Quran is saying, follow Allah, follow the Rasul, and follow the ulil amr. So who are the ulil amr? The ulil amr are the fuqaha kiram. Those fuqaha kiram who remain steadfast in that chain of following the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they continued to follow those who came before. Imam Ahmad Raza radiallahu anhu was one of them. And the surprising thing is that everybody accepts that Imam Ahmad Raza radiallahu anhu was a great scholar. Even Shaykh Harun Hanif accepts that. Yet he says that those people who regard each other as non-Muslims and label a nominal Muslim as a non-Muslim do the act of takfir, then there's a disease in their heart. So anybody who says La ilaha illallah, then he is a Muslim. You can pray namaz behind him. This is a fitna. And the reason why this is a fitna is because these people are those who are praising people like Imam Ahmad Raza radiallahu anhu, where our youth think that, look, he follows our same imams, he has the same beliefs, and then you go and sit in their dars, and this is what they're teaching. They're teaching people that we should accept Qadianis, because Qadianis say La ilaha illallah. They do say La ilaha illallah. There's a person from Holland, from Amsterdam, who I was informed that after listening to that dars, he says that there are so many masjids in Amsterdam made by Qadianis. There's loads of Qadiani masjids in Holland. He says that I was always told not to go to that masjid, but after listening to this dars, now I know that I can go to this masjid and pray namaz behind them. Pray namaz behind the Qadianis. This is what people are learning from them. You have to be very careful in the words you choose when you speak about the differences amongst the people. I understand that everybody has differences, and there's academic manners and ways of resolving them issues. But there are sometimes you just have to accept. You have to agree to disagree. You disagree with me, and that's the way it is. We disagree. We can't just try and say, okay, no, we still agree, everybody's the same. We can't do that. Look at the way of Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala. Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu in the battle of Karbala. Okay? Why did Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala fight in the battle of Karbala? क्यों जंग लड़ी करबला के मैदान में इमाम हुसैन रदियल्लाहु अन्हु ने? क्या वजह थी? What was the reason? The reason was that Yazid was asking for the hand in unity from Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu कि हम मुत्तहिद हो जाए, एक हो जाए, आप अपना हाथ मेरे हाथ में दे दो. This was the ये यजीद की मांग थी कि तुम मेरे हाथ में अपना हाथ दे दो. Why did Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu not give his hand? क्यों हाथ नहीं दिया आपने? Yazid fasiq tha, he was a fasiq. That's what he was regarded as. Later on the fatwa of kufr came on him. But at that time the fatwa of fisq was on him. Fisq, he used to allow alcohol, he used to allow those things that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had forbidden. He had allowed people to practice them. And apparently he practiced them himself. So Yazid was a fasiq. Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala refused to put his hand in the hand of Yazid to show that he has united with Yazid, simply because he was a fasiq. And people today are asking us to put our hand in the hand of the Devbandis and the Shias and the Qadianis and the Ahl Hadith, who disrespect the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Have they forgotten what Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu did in the Maidan of Karbala? Chalo, हाथ मत दो, भाग जाओ, छुप जाओ, कुछ भी करो. But Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala didn't run, he didn't hide, he sacrificed the lives of children. बच्चों को कत्ल होने दिया लेकिन इत्तेहाद नहीं किया. He allowed children to be killed and murdered and martyred, but he refused to give his hand to show that unity cannot happen between me and you. And yet today we want to unite. Tahir al-Qadiri wants to unite with the whole world. He wants to say that अब यहूदी भी मुसलमान है, ईसाई भी अब मुसलमान है, ये भी अहले किताब में से है, ये भी अहले किताब में से. These are the fitnas that we are facing. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't regard the Yahudis and the Isai as kafir and mushrik. Allah regarded them as the Ahlul Kitab. This is what he says. This is what Tahir al-Qadiri says. Halaki the Quran has called the Isai as mushrikeen, and the Quran has called the Yahud as the kafirin. Those who came and they rejected the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This unity, how can it happen when Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala sacrificed the lives of women, he sacrificed the lives of children, he sacrificed his own life. All he had to do was give his hand in their hand. He could have said maslihat ke हाथ दे देते हैं हम लोग, हिकमत के पेशे नजर हाथ दे दो यजीद के हाथ में, बाद में जाके उसके खिलाफ इनकलाब बर्पा करेंगे. ये नहीं सोचा. He didn't think that. He showed to us that I am the family of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I am the grandson, not anybody else. He is the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I am showing you the path. And we just heard now that the Ahle Bayt or the Kashti that will take us on the correct path, that Kashti will take us to Jannah. He showed that this is that boat, this is that ship. And it is to ensure that you do not give your hand in the hand of wrong in unity. You ensure that you agree to disagree. Don't disagree to disagree and give your hand that no, we don't disagree, let's put our hand into each other's hands. You have to accept that we have differences and I cannot give my hand in your hand. We need to ensure that we protect our faith. Our iman is the most valuable thing we have. Everything in this world is all based on the way we die. It's a hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that innamal ibratu bil khawatim, that everything on the day of judgment and in the akhirah is based on the way you die. In the way you die. People think that namaz is not necessary. Ma'adallah, namaz is what builds a cage around your heart and ensures that that iman does not get out of your heart. Because remember, a man who doesn't perform his salah, his iman is not protected. Before he dies, his iman may leave and he'll die as a disbeliever. And therefore it is extremely important that we spend our day and night in trying to protect our iman and building that cage around the heart by carrying out good actions, respecting your parents, giving gifts to your parents, bring a present for your parents, just make them happy. Ensure that their parents are happy. Ensure that you do good actions. Ensure your neighbors are happy. Ensure your cousins, your relatives, your family, everybody is happy. So that you are building that cage by these good actions. You build that cage around your heart that protects your iman inside it. And then when the time of death comes, your iman remains in your heart and you die with iman. then you have been successful. You are successful if you die with Iman. But if you die without Iman, then there is no success for you. There will be punishment in the grave. On the day of judgment, there will be punishment. There will be punishment in the fire of hell. Khulud, forever. Forever. And therefore it is extremely important that in this life we make use of our time.